Hisashi. I have just returned from Japan. Did a couple of days in Osaka. From there, the guys did a 5-day cycling trip from Osaka to Kanazawa. Maybe I'll throw the route up just to show you guys where they cycled. The guys were doing that. Emma and I transferred to Kanazawa. While in Osaka, I did try my best to go to a couple vintage game shops where I did find my Game Boy Pocket camera. I actually got it for a really good price. I believe it was around this 60,000 yen. No. It was about $60. It was definitely one of the things that I was looking for while doing this trip. I wanted to get a Game Boy camera and also maybe a really cool, like a limited edition Game Boy of some sort whilst I was there. It was around about the $50, $60 mark that I just took the gamble and decided to just buy it when I saw it because I knew that we only had so many days in Osaka. It was perfect in Kanazawa because within those 5 days, there was 2 places that I wanted to go to. The first one being one of the bigger hard-offs that I've seen. It was huge. It was 2 floors. The first floor had a lot of clothing and just general appliances. The second floor was where the gold was at. This place had everything: toys, collectibles, computers, laptops, cameras, instruments, records, you name it, they had everything. But then they have the treasure trove, which is the junk section. This is basically where things are untested or have been confirmed not working. At least at this one, there was so much. I kind of started off at a high, which meant when it came to later, I kind of realized how good I had it in Kanazawa, and I wish I purchased more there because the pricing could not be beat and the selection as well. The amount of consoles there was ridiculous, the amount of game selection. Yeah, I wish I knew that that was basically heaven because all the other hard-offs and book-offs I went to after that, they just didn't hit the same. In the junk section, there was a lot of cameras, camera bodies, Polaroids, especially discontinued ones, like I saw a Joy-Cam and a Spectra, flashes. There were also really old Macintosh computers there as well. Amongst all the junk in the camera section, I found this bad boy. And if you are a film camera enthusiast, you should know about this one because it is a cult classic. It is the KFC Christmas point and shoot. It's just one of those cameras that I couldn't believe that I saw it on the shelf. It's nothing fancy, but it's just one of those cameras as a film photographer that like everyone should at least know about this one. I don't know why, we all do and we all love it. So here is the camera. It's just a very simple point and shoot. It has, you know, just the little wind up when it locks in and that's it. But also what's really cool, and the fact that I got this as a complete box, is that this thing comes with the little lens filters. And I even have the manual as well in Japanese. I think it's more the fact that I found this as like the complete box. Now, the junk section was pretty good, but at the time I didn't really know what I was looking for and just felt very overwhelmed. I did try and use Google Translate, at least to have a rough idea of what the issues might be. I did probably buy the best Game Boy personally in the Kanazawa one, so I'm really glad that I did that, and I'm about to show you exactly what it is. So I ended up buying a Game Boy Pocket. The design is meant to look exactly like an original DMG. And what's amazing is that this is in such good condition. Even better is that it matches the printer that I found in Osaka. Since I couldn't really test this until I had basically everything, you know, the Game Boy, the camera, the printer, the cable, all of which I actually did end up getting in Japan, worked out that unfortunately, at least at first, it wasn't printing. It was just popping up with this error. Now, somehow out of sheer stubbornness of me pushing the feed button down really, really hard, I somehow got it working again. I don't know how, I can't explain it. Now what's really cool with this is that it actually came with the original paper. It also actually came with some still in it, in fact. Because the paper is old in this, the image quality is not amazing. When you put them together, they match perfectly, which I was really excited about. That's just me. Well, in Kanazawa, my second quest was to go to the Book-Off. There wasn't as much in there as I thought they would be. I think again, because I went to that first one and was amazed and blown away, the bar was kind of set quite high of expectations of what would happen when I go into these stores. But at that store, however, I did find, and I still have it in its original packaging, just this Game Boy Advance. My goal was to find a Game Boy Advance that wasn't broken or too damaged in terms of the actual functionality. The only issue was that you had to press the start and the select really hard. So to me, that just tells me that there's an issue with buildup and dirt on the contact. So that's a really easy fix. Yeah, I didn't want to do anything too complex for my first mod. Maybe I'll do a video on that, we'll see. But yeah, I'm really excited to do something with this. This is the Game Boy Pocket camera. This is the one that I found in Osaka. Can't remember the store name. I'll pop it up here somewhere. At the time, I didn't know about pricing. It seemed like a fair price. I think it was about $60. I definitely went to a couple of other stores where they were selling them more at $80. So yeah, I think I got this at a pretty good price. Of course, I had to get a couple of games. I was on the hunt for a couple of Japanese exclusive kind of stuff. I did buy a couple of games, mostly at Hard-Off, but also there was one day that we did a day trip to Kamakura, and I think within the last year there's been a new store that's popped up on that main strip near the Big Buddha. I believe it's called Kotoku-in or the Great Buddha. It's one of the main sites to see in Kamakura. So yeah, I believe the store was called B-Dash. A huge selection, but also had some pre-modded Game Boys as well, which was really interesting. While I was there, I decided that I may as well buy a couple of games, especially some unique ones that I saw. So I ended up buying Pokemon Green. I thought I may as well add to the collection and also buy Red. I also bought the classic Puyo Puyo. I just thought I may as well add it. It's just a classic Japanese exclusive game, as well as Mr. Driller. I actually ended up playing this game a lot on the trains. I guess that's my vintage haul from Japan. I hope you found this interesting. There's a couple of things that I want to do with the Game Boy camera. I did purchase an emulator from Epilogue, which means I can digitally transfer the photos that I take on the camera to my computer, which is really cool. I did try to record some footage of my Game Boy Pocket with the camera, but the glare was just not my friend, unfortunately, as you can probably see. Yeah, it just was not happening, unfortunately. Those screens are just not bright enough against the sun and the glare for me to capture on the camera. But I think maybe once I mod something, I think it'll be really cool to do a couple of videos like doing behind the scenes shooting with that camera. Let me know what you think about this video, if there's anything else you want me to cover or something you're interested in regards to what I've shown or want me to explain more of or do something with. I had such a fun time in Japan. It's actually really depressing coming back here a little bit, and I'll see you in the next video. Mate ne!